So let's dive in because y'all know I got a lot to talk about. So I don't want to even kill y'all with the fluff. So as y'all come in, I'm going to just go ahead and say, hey, now. Because I want to hop right in because this is going to circulate. So if you are seeing this, be sure to share, comment, and like, because you never know who is going to need this. You never know what it's going to do for you, especially because last year I remember doing a live and I just put out a video. It was something in a couple posts. I kept doing a lot of stuff around this topic of a financial crisis or like a recession or something that was going to happen to the financial realm. Again, we got Instagram here, we got Facebook here, so I'm going to be looking up and down just so y'all know. And don't think I'm crazy. I am crazy, but I've been making a lot of posts about this last year, and I was saying how, that's gonna be an issue. It's coming up. I don't know exactly when. I can't say the date, the time, the hour, the minute. I can't say, but I know that it's coming because I could see the shift in how the government was moving. People are becoming too educated on financial literacy, and if you have not already, I'm gonna stress that y'all do this. Listen or read the book called Outwitting the Devil. I'm about an hour and a half in, and I keep staying on this one part on YouTube between 1:30 and 1:40. An hour and 30 minutes and an hour and 40 minutes, because that right there alone is what's going on right now. The fear of poverty and the fear of ill health. When you see everything that's going on in the news right now with the coronavirus, mind you, it's not that many fatalities to it, but there is something bigger hidden under. So y'all ever heard the term read between the lines? That's what I need you to do right now, is read between the lines, because there's a lot of stuff going on that we're paying attention to the fear, right? The fear of getting sick, the fear of being quarantined in your house for a couple weeks, the fear of this, the fear of that. But I'm going to tell you this, the tips that I'm about to give you, because I'm about to lay 4 or 5 on you. Stay ready so you ain't got to get ready, right? Not about just going out buying the hand sanitizer, not just going out buying the tissue. This is bigger than that, because if people are now being quarantined to their homes, which means they're not able to work, they're not able to have childcare for their children. This is a spiral effect. This is a domino effect per se, meaning this is just the beginning. And remember, I was telling y'all about this in 2019, that in the upcoming years, they plan this stuff out. This stuff is not just by coinkydink. It's not. Things have been planned out, and it's literally going to be a domino effect, one thing after another. And right now is just the beginning effects. And if you didn't take me serious in 2019, you better take me serious now and get to work. And the work that you got to get to is not even extremely hard. It's just some simple adjustments that you have to make until this wave blows over, and you can take this with every other crisis that comes in the future. But you notice how every time something big is about to happen, an election, something big behind the scenes that's supposed to happen, guess what they start doing? Population control against so much stuff, and it just keeps circling and circling and circling, because they have to remain in what's considered control. So, since they want to be in control so bad, you need to have your own sense of control and don't, fall into the fear. A lot of us will easily fall into that fear and let that take over everything, and then we miss the important steps that we need to take. So I'm going to give you 4 or 5, because I feel like it's another one just kind of lingering in my mind that's going to probably come out when it's time to blurt that out. So I hope you got your pens and your paper. If not, I'm going to talk for like another minute or so while you gather your pen and your paper, because you need to be writing down these steps to getting yourself together, because this is not the time, right? Older generations were not as prepared, and not necessarily that they didn't care. They just weren't as prepared because the resources are different now. Now we have social media. We can send out mass messages. We can communicate with each other so much faster. So it makes it a lot easier for us now to be in control, or to have, preparation. So I know it's so many messages coming out. Oh, we're going to be quarantined to the house. Or we're going to have this going on. We're going to have that going on. Listen, worry about you and your household and what you got to get done. right? So here are some ways that you can protect your credit and your finances by going into this potential crisis. Because if we see another recession like we did see now, back in 2007, 2008, when the recession was going on, we was probably, my folks, right? We was still in high school. I was just starting high school because in 2007, I was starting at tech, right? But I seen the effects from family, friends, from my friends' family. I seen it going around. So if we touch another one of those, here's where it's going to be the difference, because we have a lot of digital entrepreneurs now. We got a lot of people that own businesses from home. But here's how you need to still protect yourself, because if it happens like that, best believe they're coming harder. They expected this virus to really hit people a lot harder. Not saying that to downplay it and like it ain't gonna do nothing to nobody, or it ain't gonna make you sick, because it's making people sick. But they trying to hype it up as if it's gonna do more than what it's doing right now, and I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing it as a cover up, or like my followers just said, population control. A way for them to wipe out either the older generation, or just to start scaring us, to let us know, like, hey, within a matter of minutes we can have all y'all in the house and we'll wrap this thing up, right? So that's not what we're doing. So boom, 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 I want to say, protect your credit and your finances. Prep it for a recession. We don't know what's to come, but a domino effect of what this looks like right now. They were already projecting a market crash this year. They were already talking about a recession in the upcoming years, and it looks like it's about to come a lot faster. But here's ways that we can get ourselves in line. Protect your credit by, number one, limit your liabilities. Right now is not the time just to go be spending money loosely. Now, I understand if you're going to purchase an asset, if you're investing in an asset, because I know, in real estate, there are a number of ways to make money when the economy is up, and there's a number of ways to make money when the economy is down. So I'm not saying don't get yourself no assets and flip your assets responsibly, right? I'm saying limit your liabilities. And I told y'all, I got my notes. Limit your liabilities. Things are shutting down. So this is the time right now where we need to be doing a budget cleanup, right? We need to be going within our budget, figuring, and this is something I used to preach about last year, because people used to tell me, hey, I don't have enough money to save even $50 out of my check because I got this, and this to pay for. Not even realizing what they bring home and what they foolishly spend so much money on. I was able to guarantee and find $100 to $300 out of people's check that they could be saving. So if you feel like you can't do it by yourself and you don't know how to clean up your budget by yourself, hit me up so I can help you do a budget cleanup for yourself, because it is real. Right now we have so many gaps, so many loopholes in our budget, because our check comes in and then it's gone. It's gone just like that. Right? Once we actually do a budget cleanup, we realize how much money we was throwing away in the trash. Literally throwing it away in the trash. So right now is the time to clean up that budget. Write out all of your expenses. Write out all of your income, meaning the income after taxes. Right? And here's a nice little tip that I like to do. I like to zero it out. If I know I got $1,551 coming in, which is $1,551. Guess what? I'm only calculating $1,500. That 51 is there. It's there, and I know it's there. It's in my subconscious, I know it's there. But what I'm working with is I'm living below my means. So because I'm living below my means, I need to, write out, hey, this is my income, and then I need to overcompensate for my expenses. If my bill is usually $58, my electric bill is, $58, I'm gonna go ahead and round that bad boy up to $60, right? I need to create wiggle room in my budget, and this is the way to do it. Underestimate what you're bringing in, overestimate what you have to put out for your expenses, right? Line that up. Whatever don't need to be there needs to be cut. Meaning, if it ain't food, shelter, gas to get you to and from work, cut it. Meaning, I understand we want to have fun and we want to have our leisure and we want to have our luxury, but understand this, all these flights that y'all booking right now, that most of y'all probably ain't putting insurance on these flights, let the coronavirus continue to expand. A lot of these flights are getting canceled. You're not getting your money back. So you're putting free money into their pockets. So if you are going to be buying these flights at the cheap price, don't worry, I be wanting to do it too. So I'm not saying it to say don't do it, but if you're doing it, insure it. Pay that extra couple of dollars to insure it so that you know you can get your money back. Shall they decide to quarantine and cancel out these flights? Then you know you got your money back. But if not, guess what? You're just throwing money away. I understand we got our Netflix, we got our Hulus that we want to watch since a lot of us don't have cable. Partner up with some friends. Cut that expense. You'll be surprised what $2, $3, $4, $5 when that adds up, what that could do for you. Because a lot of us go out to these fast food restaurants and we just spend so carelessly. Oh, it's just $5. Oh, it's just $10. Oh, it's just $15. I'm going to get that back. But then you don't realize by the end of the week you done spent $200. That's money that could have been saved right there. Meal prepping, cooking. If you need help cooking, I will get on live and show y'all how to cook. I will do that for y'all. You let me know. If y'all need some help cooking, I will get on live. Y'all know I cook almost every single day. 2 to 3 times a day. Because why? It's cheaper. 2, Corona. I want to keep myself safe. 3, what's the third reason? I can cook. So, but I say that to say you're saving money. Saving money, saving money, saving money. I know y'all ain't seen the commercial. I ain't the only one. I'm not. But I say that to say these are ways that you can limit your liabilities. If you have a meat market near you, you already know I be coming with the bargains. I be coming with the BS. If you got a meat market near you, they have meat packages. Don't forget to clean your meat with lime and vinegar. Come on now. Corona. Right? But limit liabilities. Make space in your budget. You have to be able to make space because right now is the time where you need to be having money set aside. And I mean, you need to be pouring money into that savings. Pouring money into that savings because you don't know what's to come. Yes, you can only save $1. Yes, you can only save $2. Them dollars add up and you never know what you can do with it. You never know. So, number 1, limit liabilities and create room in your budget. You have to, because especially if you're thinking about your credit, a lot of y'all have maxed out credit cards right now that y'all need to be paying down before it defaults and really plunges your credit. Right? Because that's a part of limiting your liabilities is paying down some of that debt. Limiting liabilities, creating room in your budget, paying down debts. Because the one thing that I'm telling y'all with this whole virus and the way it's going, it is, y'all got to read between the lines. This is bigger than just a quote unquote virus. This is a domino effect to something bigger. And if y'all don't believe me now, y'all gonna believe me in the next coming months if you don't follow these daggone steps. All right. Number 2, communication. Not just one time, communicating a couple of times. A lot of these jobs are going online. You need to be communicating with your employer now to figure out, hey, what's the crisis plan? Are we going online? Are we, going to be quarantined? Are our jobs, we're not going to be having work for the next 2 weeks to a month to however long? Am I getting paid during this time? You need to be communicating and finding these things out. You need to also be communicating with your creditors. A lot of them have crisis plans, especially car companies. Instead of just not saying anything to your credit card companies before things get real, just call them and ask them and say, hey, do y'all have a crisis plan? Is there something that I can do in the meantime? Like if anything was to happen to my finances, do y'all have a crisis plan? If they were to shut me down for my job, do y'all have a pushback payment? I know when it was a hurricane down in Florida, some of the companies were pushing back payments 2 to 3 months because they knew people couldn't go to work. People couldn't do their normal things. People couldn't pay bills the way they normally would. So, with that being said, communicate with your jobs, your creditors, your place of living. Are your apartments, your mortgage folks, do they have a crisis plan? Because this isn't just, I just lost my job, I can't pay the bills. No, this is nationwide. This is something that everyone is affected by. You see all these big people closing, you need to be figuring out what the crisis plan is. So that's number 2. Number 1, limit liabilities. 2 is communication about crisis plans. We need to know what's T, okay? What's T? Number 3 is explore online jobs. Listen, this is the time where after this whole recession or a potential financial crisis that's about to occur resulting from this corona virus here, they're gonna be implementing in them robots, because regardless of if anything happens, they know them robots will come in and do what they got to do. So that's something else that you need to be prepared for. Be prepared for having to now work a different way, right? So explore online jobs, freelancing. This is the time to use your talents. This is the time that you can start teaching. If there's something that you want to teach online, this is the time. Call centers. Everything, they have all these flex jobs is one that does online jobs. Of course, you know, you got Fiverr where you can put your talents on. You have other different sites where you can teach, right? Get into these things. Begin to explore your options, because I'm telling you, I told you, I said by 2030 them robots was gonna be coming in and taking over. So this is the time where you need to explore other options. This is the time where you need to begin reading. Y'all, I got so many books that I gotta read. Boom, How Money Works. Another book I'm reading also, Startup Business Credit. I got a few online books as well. But this is what you need to be, like, start educating yourself. Find a trade, find a skill, find something. Because you need to start exploring online, online job options, right? Because that's what's going to keep revenue coming in. Because after you've communicated with your job, your creditors, your rent folks, your mortgage personnel, guess what? They're going to be telling you, yes, we have a crisis plan, or no, we don't. You're still responsible for whatever it is, and you still got to make some money somehow. So if you're unable to make money from your job, if they're not going to pay you, or they're not going to give you the option to work from home, you need to be exploring some other ways of making money, because the bills don't stop. But that doesn't mean you have to stop, and you don't have to fall into the area of fear, panic mode, and uptightness, because you feel like, oh, there's no way, I'm just going to be poor. Let me tell you, because I'm going to read y'all. I'm going to read y'all with this Outwitting the Devil, because that's number 5. I knew it was something that was lingering. Number 5 is going to be this Outwitting the Devil, because I need y'all to understand where all this is coming from. Number 4 is limit the use of your credit card as much as possible. Right now, this is where we reverse, right? I know I put a lot of my people with your strategy plan. So if I created your personal strategy plan, listen, there might be a slight adjustment to the plan if the markets crash. And if you're, now finding yourself to where you have to lean on your credit cards, right? My new strategy is going to be limiting the use of it at that point, because if that's becoming a liability, we don't need that. We need only things that's going to produce the good credit habits. So whatever your plan was, hey, if we get to that option, or we get to that place where it's like complete financial downfall, then you need to reach out to me so we can adjust your plan as need be for your situation. Because I'm telling you, the one thing that you don't want to have to do is to be living on your credit card. Because once that money's out, that money is out, right? So now is the time to prep yourself. But in that meantime, you need to limit the use of it. And by limiting the use of it, meaning if you're at 50% utilization, you need to bring that bad boy all the way down. If you're at 100% utilization, you need to bring that bad boy down. If you're at 120, 30, 140, 270, doesn't matter what type of utilization you're at, you need to bring that down. And I know y'all looking at me like, wait, it can be over 100% utilization? Yes, because when they start adding on them fees, that does not stop your utilization percentage. So you need to bring that down, because that's affecting your score. Get those credit card limits to 0. You hear me? 0, and limit use from that. Because the one thing, if you do need to use it while you get adjusted, you want to be able to have some wiggle room to do so. But I'm hoping we don't get to that point. Why? Because we're going to prep, right? All of us, we're going to prep. We're going to explore our online jobs. We're going to make sure our debt is paid down. We're going to make sure that we have a nice savings area. And like I said, I don't care if you're saving pennies. I don't care if you're saving quarters. I don't care if you're saving dollars. You better be saving something. Something needs to be put off to the side. Because if you start operating in fear, which most of us are doing, then you're playing right into the devil's antics. And that's number 5. Stop running in fear. He ain't running the show. He is. So, because he ain't running the show, He trying to cut off all access to spirit. He trying to cut off all access to your mind for you to think. And when you start thinking in a fearful type of atmosphere, you're missing the answer, because the answer is right here. But you're looking, oh my God, how can I do this? Where can I get this from? How can I do that? No. And the answer be right here, smacking you on the forehead. Smacking you. So we're not operating in fear. That means you need to start educating yourself. How money works, how the economy works, how to make sure that I got the tips and tricks with my credit. How do I make sure that I got the right mindset? How do I know the tricks of the government? How do I know what they're doing? When you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Period. The end. So, the 5 things that I need you to do is, number 1, limit your liabilities, make room in your budget, and pay down your debts. Don't ask me no questions how I'm going to do it. If you need to know how to do it, you need some direction, you need some guidance, you need a plan, hit me up. I can tell you which ones to pay off first, how to pay it off. Hit me up. I can make room in your budget, whether you want to or not. I can make room in your budget. So that's number 1, limit liabilities, create room in your budget, and pay down debts. That's how you're going to win. Number 2, communicate with your creditors, your jobs, your rent folks. Find out the crisis plan. And if they don't have one today, guess what? New information is coming out every single day. So if they don't have it this week, try again next week. What's the crisis plan now? It's getting real. Number 3, explore online options. Explore online jobs. It doesn't hurt. If you're quarantined to your house, you're going to need to make some money some way. There's so many network marketing opportunities. There's so many online jobs. There's so many ways that you can start a business. You can be a freelancer. You can teach if you don't want to have, something outside of the 9-to-5 realm. There's teaching jobs. There's call center jobs. There's freelancing jobs. There's so many things, but explore your online options. Number 4, limit your credit card usage. This goes back to limiting liabilities, but especially within this time, you need to limit the use of a credit card, because you need to have as much money as you can saved up and put away. And number 5 is keep your mindset on solution and not panic mode, not fear. Don't let them allow social media to come against us and to use it against us. Those are the 5 things. That's how you protect your credit and your finances during this potential financial crisis. Because I'm telling you, it's a domino effect. There is written in the rule book. And the government, they got to have control over everything, right? So because of that, guess what? Your pockets are at bay. So get it together. Bay. And I'm out like Chicken Scouts. Bye, y'all.